Hey, it's me, Bad B, I'm back. So I've had the worst week. So Saturday and Sunday I kind of had a fever, but I wasn't feeling too bad, so I just stayed home and rested. Monday I was going to go to work, but I just felt rubbish. Had a fever and just everything hurt. Had a runny nose, have a cough. I was like, okay, maybe I just need a rest. Tuesday I felt even worse than Monday, if that was possible, and I was like, oh, maybe I have pneumonia again. I'm gonna go to hospital and find out. I've done antigen tests at home for the past 3 days and they all came back negative. And then I get there and I have to do the horrible nose swab, which, you know, I think is worse than getting a needle actually. Sorry, I need to apologize. I look terrible, I know. I'm gonna throw this out. It's just way too matted. I love it, but it's too matted. Anyway, so Tuesday, go to the hospital, have to do the nose swab test. Last time when I had pneumonia, they made me wait like 3 hours in that horrible little portable. And this time it was summer and there was just no aircon. It was disgusting. Anyway, I only had to wait an hour this time. Awesome. But the lady that went before me got her results before me. They have all my information in the database, I think. So I was like, you know, I have breast cancer. And he's like, are you pregnant? I was like, no, I have breast cancer. And then he's like, okay, when was your last period? And I was like, I haven't had one for ages because I've been on chemo. And he was like, Anyway, then he's just like, so yeah, you know, asking me basically all the same questions that the guy before me asked that were on the form. So I had to do this basically 3 times. Turns out I got COVID and I was like, oh shit. I was like, I just don't need this right now. But okay, that would explain why I've been feeling so bad. And then how, you know, last week, doctor who I don't know, she gave me random antibiotics. And I was like, you know what, I'll just take a couple, see how they go. They didn't do anything that would explain why. So it wasn't pneumonia, this time I got COVID. But the worst thing is, I got the booster 2 weeks ago and I still got COVID and it's so severe. And they're like, we have to admit you to hospital. Can you call your family? And I'm just like, I'm by myself. My husband's overseas. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we have to admit you like now. And I'm like, all right. There's no one to call. I was like, there's no one to call. Because I didn't expect to be in hospital. I didn't have a change of clothes. Didn't have a change of undies. Didn't have any of my things like toothbrush. And then, oh, don't worry, you can rent pajamas from the hospital. And, you know, we'll give you a toothbrush and someone can go to the convenience store for you if you give them money. I was like, okay. So every day someone had to buy me undies, had to rent the pajamas, had to wash my whole body on the first day with just shampoo. And then from then on, like, just body soap, just everything felt so dry. But yeah, everyone was really nice. Obviously, I was in a private room, which, you know, because of the contagiousness. But they would basically wear a hazmat suit to come in and treat me, and I was wearing a mask all the time, but it's like, well, obviously it's probably around. And then they like strip off the hazmat suit into this like little bin, which turns out they don't empty the bin, they just seal the bin and like destroy the whole bin and bring in a new one. And then, you know, after a couple of days, so they put you on remdesivir, I don't know how to say it, it's called like Veklury in Japanese, but like the COVID antiviral. They put you on that for like 3 days. I think I got 4 because I got one on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is the worst possible timing. I have movies coming on Sunday. I'm leaving the country on Wednesday. She's like, yeah, I don't think you'll be able to make it because you got COVID, you're not allowed to travel. I was just like, you gotta be kidding me, this is the worst. But they let me out on Saturday, so I was in hospital for Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Friday. 4 nights. I guess it was nice to have someone to take care of me. The food, you know, it's healthy. I'm gonna leave it at that. But it was really sweet because my birthday's in June. And one day they were like, oh, we're gonna celebrate everybody's birthday month today. And you get like a little tiny cake and a note. And I was like, oh, that was really nice. I mean, I guess my symptoms would have been even more severe if I had not had the vaccine. But it was so severe I had to be hospitalized. I don't know how much worse it could get. Anyway, I'm home now. I feel better. I still have a headache. But she's like, that just will take a long time. And I was like, okay, great. But you know, they gave me Canonano, which is acetaminophen, which is Panadol in Australia. It doesn't do anything. But then they started giving me Loxonin, which is an anti-inflammatory. And that like tiny little pink pill. Yeah, it was great, but I couldn't get any more of it. They also gave me my referral, which had like the CD of all my scans and stuff, and then like letters and printouts, and also like unstained slides of my biopsy, because like, you know, the doctors over there need all of this, and that cost, I think, a fair amount of the money, because like being hospitalized for COVID is covered by the government, which is really nice. I don't know what other fees I had to pay, because I got moved midway to the east building of the hospital. It was kind of funny. So they were like, we're moving you today, you have to pack up all your things. Obviously I didn't have any things. I had like my handbag, a jacket, and like I asked the night nurse to get me all this water and all this Bacardi, so I was so thirsty. Anyway, so a giant bag of drinks. And then so they just put all your stuff into a plastic bag, and then you have to just sort of carry it like a bum, like you're leaving jail. And they walk you through the elevator, and there's like 4 people with you, and they're like, don't touch the walls of the elevator, stand in the middle. And I'm like, okay. And then you walk down to the basement, and then a car that's like sealed off from the back, so you're not at all in the same air with the driver. You go in that little car, and then he drives you like 200 meters into the basement again, and then some other nurse comes to meet you and like grabs your plastic bags of stuff, and then you go upstairs, and yeah, you're in your new jail room. It was also private, which was nice, and this time I had a shower. The first room I had to be escorted to and from the shower, which looked like a public pool shower. You know, it was nice to have my own shower, but I think the other room was much nicer. But also, luckily I brought my phone charger, because I didn't have my laptop or anything. Everyone's like, yeah, enjoy Netflix. I did not enjoy Netflix. I enjoyed Japanese TV, which is so bad. There's so much home shopping all the time. But anyway, that was my experience with COVID. I've gotten this far without having gotten it, and then I get it when I have cancer, like the worst possible time. I missed the last week of school, which I'm so bummed about, but you know, it can't be Shogunite, right? It'll be nice to go home. Stay tuned for this giant dumpster fire that is my COVID treatment. I mean, there's my cancer treatment.